Assholes with opinions.
What's up, everybody? It's SplatMan here with another AWO show, Assholes with Opinions. We're just a bunch of assholes giving you our opinions. We're covering another top 5 video for you today. Top 5 movies. Our top 5 movies. AWO show, baby, for life.
For life.
For life.
For life, baby.
I'm with my main dude, my brother from another mother, the man with the beard, Mr. Gonzo Shark. What's up, Gonzo?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. This top 5 best favorite movies is like so hard to do, bro. Like I'm probably forgetting movies. I have like a list of like 100 down that I had to squeeze into 5. So
Dude, we fucked ourselves.
We really did fuck ourselves. But I'll tell you this: I probably don't have one of your movies on your list, on my list. Maybe one.
That's already what I was thinking, bro. I was even gonna say that. I think maybe we have one of the same movies. Other than that, we don't have any of the same.
Yeah, and folks, to our fans, we're not going by any Google list you got, the best 100, best 50, best top movies of all time. We're going by what we feel like, what movies made the best impact, the most impact in our lives growing up and now, and just what we love, and we just, like I said, made an impact in our lives. So that's what we're basing our list upon. And since I started the last top 5 we did, I'm gonna let Gonzo Shark start this one.
All right, I'm into that. All right, cool. So my top 5, which all I'm gonna say about this is I actually had it higher on the list at first, and then when I wrote it down, like I had to move it. So it's number 5 now, and mine is The Big Lebowski at number 5, just because the dude is one of the greatest characters ever, and even John Goodman's character and Steve Buscemi as Donnie, both of those guys, their characters are awesome, and just I love the Coen brothers. You know what I mean? Their movies, they have the such a unique style to their movies. Everything about it, the writing, the cinematography, the way they direct it, just the content itself is always like far out. And yeah, dude, The Big Lebowski, one of the best movies ever.
Yeah, dude, great pick. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now, it's not on my list, but I absolutely love that movie too. And good movie, kid.
All right. I want to hear your number 5. Let's go.
All right, my number 5 is an easy number 5 for me. It could easily be a number 1 for me because of how much of an impact it made on me. I didn't grow up in those times, but I did have the same kind of background as some of these kids in this movie, and I just the movie is Lords of Dogtown. That's sometimes the era I wish I grew up. 70s, late 60s, 70s, but the Z Boys and just the story of Jay Adams and stuff, and Tony Alva and all that stuff, and just Emil Hirsch playing Jay Adams I thought was great, and then the great Heath Ledger was in the movie. It's just that movie made a big impact on me when I think it was like freshman and sophomore year of high school. I was a big skateboarder, so I love that movie. I can watch that movie a million times and still appreciate it. Rest in Jay Adams, but yep, that's my number 5.
Dude, I remember watching that in high school, and it really blown me away. Like, because it's on the surface, it just looks like it's a movie about skateboarding, but the story of the movie is fucking unbelievable, and it has every type of emotion in it that you could think of. You'll laugh, you'll want to cry, you'll get pissed, you'll be happy. I mean, like it goes through the whole thing of emotions, and that's a great pick. Great fucking pick. All right, number 4. This could easily be a number 1 for me too, because man, fucking. All right, this movie came out in 1992, and it was actually written by Quentin Tarantino. And this movie and Natural Born Killers were both written by Quentin Tarantino, and he wrote it as one big script. And it was like the first real script that he ever wrote, and he sold that script. So they cut it in half because it was so long and it was so great, and they made 2 movies out of it. And the first one that came out 1992, directed by Tony Scott, number 4 on my list, True Romance. And it has Christian Slater, Christopher Walken, Brad Pitt, Gary Oldman, fucking Dennis Hopper, Patricia Arquette. There's even Val Kilmer's in it. There's a bunch of people in it. And if you haven't seen it, it's kind of one of those hidden gems. Christopher Walken, Christian Slater just kind of plays a guy that's a little bit down on his luck. And he gets a suitcase and it's filled with cocaine, but he really thought it was filled with cash. So he decides he's going to try to sell the coke, and the whole movie, it's just a crazy fucking story. Gary Oldman plays one of the best characters I've ever seen him play. There's a scene in it that I think is one of the greatest scenes of all time in any movie with Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper. And one of my favorite Christopher Walken scenes of all time. It's just unbelievable. Have you seen the movie?
Dude, I think I've seen the movie. Like, I think you actually showed me the movie, and like we were either in middle school or high school, and I watched it. I don't remember it much, but
oh man, great fucking movie.
I gotta refresh my memory and watch it again because
yeah,
the actors you named are incredible.
Great. All right, number 4 for you. Let's hear it.
All right, my number 4 is a movie that just, when I was little, I used to love it. I used to watch it anytime it's on TV. A lot of people hate on the actor in it, and I'll give you the actor right now. It's Keanu Reeves, but I love Keanu Reeves. The movie is Point Break.
Oh, that's a good one.
Point Break. Like I said, anytime it's on, Patrick Swayze, man, he used to be like one of my idols growing up, dude. I loved that guy growing up. Just all around great movie. Point Break, about if you haven't seen it, it's about like bank robbers robbing banks, and they're surfers, and they're pretty bunch of cool dudes, and Keanu Reeves is a detective, police officer, and he's got to like get inside the group of bank robbers and kind of take them down from there. But it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Keanu Reeves is the man. I don't care what you think, if he's a bad actor or not. I think he's great. Fucking John Wick. Don't fuck around.
John Wick's good. And yeah, Point Break, dude. Yeah, that's a great movie. And honestly, I'll be real with you, dude. I didn't see that for the first time until within the past 10 years. I don't remember ever seeing that when I was younger. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, dude, this movie's great. But yeah, awesome pick. Number 3 for me is a mafia movie by Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas. How could you fucking ever go wrong with that? One of my favorite movies of all time, and most people have seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, and a bunch of other great actors. And if you really want to talk about a mob classic, can't go wrong with Goodfellas. And I know you've seen that, my dude.
Oh, I'm just going to mention this. Goodfellas is definitely one of my top. You know it is. I don't know if this is on your list, but along with Godfather, I think it's right there with it. Godfather's a great movie.
Yeah.
And then you got to come into Casino and shit like that. Goodfellas is a lot of people's favorite. And that's one of the main reasons why I kind of kept it out, because I wanted something like a little different. But it's definitely probably everybody's top 5, at least top 10, because the movie's one of the best.
Gotta be. All right, what do you got for number 3, my dude?
All right, I'm gonna switch it up here with the flow here a little bit. And I know you're probably not expecting this at all, but like I said, I'm going by movies that made impact in my life, and this is it's a tie actually for my 3rd. I did this again, sorry, but it's just between 2 movies that from childhood growing up that are some of my favorites, and everybody's got to appreciate them. And that's the fucking Lion King, because Lion King is just, as a kid, that I used to jam out to the soundtrack all the fucking time. Me and my brothers and my mom, and just sit there listen to the soundtrack. Ellen fucking John, dude, great soundtrack. And then of course I put these 2 together because they're kind of on the same line. Toy Story, because Toy Story made a big impact when I was little, and I was obsessed with that for the longest time. And I just think as a friendship movie and just something good for the kids, some movies that I've shown my son, I just think they make a good impression, great story, great animation. Yeah, that's my number 3.
Wow, dude. Yeah, you definitely took it somewhere where I didn't think you were going to take it. But hey, I can appreciate that because
know there's great movies out there, but you got to understand, like, it takes a lot of time in those animation movies.
Yeah.
You know, and it just like I said, the storytelling, the Lion King, I think, was based upon Hamlet or something, wasn't it? Or
I have no idea.
something like that. And it's just, the whole story was great, you know, and losing his father and having to, like, pick up the mantle and, like, take care of his people, you know.
Yeah. I love that movie when I was a kid.
And like I said, it made an impact on me, and just, you gotta love it. I've never met anybody who didn't like Toy Story or Lion King. So
No, they're both great. They're both. When I was a kid, man, I used to love those movies. For
plus,
sure.
plus I had to switch it up on everybody, you know.
Yeah, dude, I can appreciate that. You took it somewhere where I didn't think it was going to go, so that's cool. Number 2 for me, this is the one movie that I thought might have been on both of our lists. We've already talked about it before. Pulp Fiction. Just because, I don't know, man, like, something about that movie made, like, such a huge fucking impact with me. You know, that was the movie where I fell in love with Quentin Tarantino's filmmaking, and, you know, he's been one of the biggest inspirations of my life. You know what I mean? Just from a filmmaking standpoint. So, I mean, just the time, the way the time is structured in that movie, the fact that the story jumps all over the place, but it all connects. That to me was one of the most brilliant things that I ever saw. Like, when I first fell in love with that movie, like, the time I watched it and I knew I fell in love with it was when I realized that the beginning was the end and the end was the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, the end and the beginning were the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then you gotta love Quentin Tarantino. But that's your number 2, right?
That's my number 2.
All right, that's my number 2 too. That's weird.
Is it really, dude?
But I cheated again.
I knew it.
I had a 3-way tie for number 2, and that's only because I put them together because of one thing. And you'll probably know the one thing. All right, these 3, my number 2, 3 of them are.
I already know what they're gonna be.
Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
And Django Unchained.
I knew it.
All right, so all Quentin Tarantino. I need to put it in one file. File number 2. I'm sorry I cheated, but
that's it, dude. Hey, bro. That's the thing. I feel like, you know, for people that haven't seen Quentin Tarantino movies, if you watch them and then you like them and then you watch all of them, you'll appreciate why you would have to kind of blend them together like that in a lot of ways, because he just stands out so far above a lot of other people. But not even that he's better, but just in his style and what he does. He's so much different than anybody else. You know, it's like if he's coming out with a movie, you know, you might not like it or whatever, but no matter what, nobody could ever look at a Quentin Tarantino movie and be like, dude, that was a complete piece of shit. Like, I can't believe I just wasted 2 hours on that. Like, no, I don't think there's anybody that would ever do that.
And the best thing about Quentin Tarantino, to me, his movies at least, is the fact that no other, well, there's other movies, but it leaves me thinking about that movie for not days, weeks, you know, months. You know, when you're thinking about a movie after you're watching, you're wondering what happened, or you're just thinking over and over your head what was going on in the movie, and just the acting quality, you know, the writing. It just that makes a good film.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I said before, I don't think he's ever made one bad movie. I really don't. I can't think of one fucking bad movie that he's ever made. You know, and when we were talking about his movies before, we forgot one, because we said he made 8 movies, right? And we counted them off.
We forget.
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Oh yeah, with
the Grindhouse one with Robert Rodriguez did Planet Terror.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. So it's like you have to include that. You know what I mean? So really, you include that one. He's made 9. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will be his 10th. But I think that
honestly, if right there, I think that's probably his worst movie, and it's good, but it's probably one of my least favorite.
Oh, it's definitely one of my. It is my least favorite from him.
So that's probably a good reason why we forgot it. Well, you know, just that's probably the reason why I forgot it. But it's not a bad movie. It doesn't.
No, it's not.
It's just our least favorite of his collection.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna move on to number 1, and I know for a fact right now, there's no way our number 1's the same.
I have two. I think 2 movies I think would be your number 1, and I'm probably right with one of them. But if you want me to try and guess, I can guess. But it's up to you.
Well, no, you can go ahead. You can try to guess, bro, because you probably get it.
One is maybe The Crow, but that might not be the one. But I know how much you were passionate about The Crow growing up.
Yep.
And then 2 is probably The Clockwork Orange, because I know how much you loved that movie growing up.
Yep, and that Clockwork Orange is my number 1.
Woo!
Yep, and you would know that. I mean, dude, I got the fucking poster right behind my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I the thing is too is I remember, like, this is a weird story, but do you remember Prime Star? It was a satellite TV before there was like direct TV.
Oh yeah, kind of. That's
Okay.
quick.
Yes, so that's kind of how, like, my mom's ex-husband had that crazy movie collection, all those VHSs that he like recorded off TV and this and that. And he had a Clockwork Orange, and I never watched it, but we used to have Prime Star when I was like fucking 10 years old or something. And they used to send you a book every month that had like everything that was going to be on. So one day I was looking through the book and that movie popped up. And I looked at the rating and it said rated R. And then it listed, like, dude, it was so long. It was like, you know, violence, language, rape, fucking sex, blah, blah, like all these things that I was rated R for. So then immediately, like, being like 10 or 11 years old, I'm like, that kind of sparked my attention. Like, I was just curious, like, what the fuck is this movie with this weird name? And it has all this shit in it. And it's like, so finally I watched it when I was like, I don't know, 14 or something. And just like the story of the movie combined with the way Stanley Kubrick directed it, the soundtrack that he put to it, the whole fucking thing is Beethoven, which is just like incredible. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's a great story. It's weird. It's definitely one of the weirdest fucking movies you'll ever see.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely strange.
Yeah, but
you're the reason why I actually watched that movie. So thanks to you. And then you're the reason, you're the one who pointed out that huge brawl that looks like a big wrestling brawl.
Yeah, dude, that's one of my favorite fight scenes ever in a movie. Right. Just like because it was all to Beethoven, and it was just like the way that it was, you know, set up, and like the way they choreographed it, nothing looked fake. It was just like a lot of action in a short period of time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to, that movie will not be everybody's cup of tea. I would say a lot of people don't like that movie. Like a lot of people that I've met and talked to and just, you know, read around or heard, a lot of people don't like that movie, but more people do like that movie.
It's just, it's the people that don't like that movie is the people that kind of don't appreciate, you know, artwork when it comes to film. That, in my eyes, I think, because they just, it's not, it's like you said, it's weird, it's strange. So, you know, not everybody's gonna like that.
Yeah, and just to give it a brief description and synopsis of what it is, it was based on a book, and the book actually had its own like dictionary in the back of the book because there was so many slang terms that you wouldn't even know what the meaning of them was. So as you're reading the book, you'd have to flip to the back of it to figure out what that term meant. And they kept the movie true to that like jargon or whatever you want to call it, that type of language that they use, that slang. But I mean, it's just like, it's weird, but it's such a good story. And it's just basically, to me, the whole movie is about karma. That's really all I'll tell you. To me, that movie is like the perfect description of karma. And, you know, it's kind of just a gang of young dudes that get into a lot of trouble. They do a lot of bad shit. And then 3 of the dudes leave one of the dudes to get fucked up by the cops, you know, and get caught. And they just kind of abandon him. And then, you know, the story goes on. But it's just, it's one of those movies you have to see. If you never saw it, you have to see it. So, yeah, that's my number 1.
Well, great number 1. I called that. I kind of knew where you were going with that.
And I don't know your number 1. I honestly can't tell you. I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure what it would be. And
you're going to be surprised because, one, it's a newer movie, and that's rare to be a number 1 because so many movies impact you when you're a kid, you know. This movie just kind of hit me hard when it came out, just because, you know, I'm a comic book nerd. You know, I love the comic book movies now that they're doing them. I had, you know, there came a time when, you know, I was in an apartment fire. My apartment burnt down, and me and my son, we lost everything. You know that, Gonzo.
I know, yeah.
So like it was just the time of it, and I took my kid to the movies to watch it. And the movie's The Guardians of the Galaxy, directed by James Gunn. It took me back watching it with my son. Just the beginning was emotional, the end was emotional. The whole movie was fun. You laughed, you cried. It just brought me back to being a child, especially with my son being there with me. It brought me back to going to see Star Wars or seeing Star Wars at home with my father. You know, Empire Strikes Back. You know, that's what it reminded me of. It just reminded me of a nice space journey. And like I said, I was with my son. It was just such a great time. And I'll watch that movie a million times. I own it. You know, sometimes my girl, even my kid, they'll get upset because I'll watch it all the time. If it's on, I'll put it on. I probably surprise everybody with my top movie, but I don't care because it's my top 5. So
yeah,
I love the movie. Most of you probably watching this probably have seen the movie. It's a newer movie, so if you haven't, check it out. There's another movie that was kind of up there with that was Attack the Block, which is a newer movie too. I talked about that before in Film of the Week. But that's my top 5. Gonzo, that's your top 5. I'm actually gonna name off a couple more if you don't mind.
Yeah, I got a few honorable mentions I want to name off too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do some honorable mentions here. First of all, is the juice worth the squeeze? The Girl Next Door, Emile Hirsch. I love it. Such
Great.
a movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. The Lost Boys. That was almost in my top 5. It's one of my
good one.
Lost Boys is awesome. Boondock Saints, The Departed, Surf Ninjas. I don't know if you ever seen that, but it's stupid but funny.
What is it? What is that one? Furry Vengeance? Is that what you said?
Surf Ninjas.
Oh, Surf Ninjas. I thought you said Furry Vengeance. Surf Ninjas. I've never saw that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. What's Deuce Bigelow? What's his name?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider's in it when he was like 17, 18. He looks wicked fucking young.
Oh, really? Okay.
One of the best baseball movies ever, Major League.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Small Soldiers. I don't know if you ever see it. The terrorists take over private school. Great movie. The Goonies, of course, is awesome. Nightmare Before Christmas. The Crow. Detroit Rock City.
Hell yeah. That's a good one.
Vegas Vacation. National Lampoons. Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. The Wayans Brothers.
Yep.
That's come on now. Kevin Smith. All the Rockies. I love the Rocky trilogy.
Hell yeah.
All the Rocky movies, including the new ones. Creed, great movie. New ones coming out. Terminator 2, Saving Private Ryan, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, and of course, The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino. Those are just some that I mentioned that I forgot on my list that I could not squeeze in my top 5.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Your honorable mention list is much more extensive than mine. I kind of at last minute just threw down a bunch of honorable mentions because I mean this was so tough to pick 5 movies. It's like I could list like 40 fucking movies. I could list like 60. You know what I mean? Like just because I'm a movie lover and you are too, and I know you feel the same way. But okay, so honorable mention 2 that easily could have been in my top 5, and one of them actually was in my top 5, and somehow it was in my top 5 in my head at first, and when I wrote it down, somehow I removed it. But Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, both the original ones, and even Friday the 13th too. All those.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
A Nightmare on Elm Street is good. The Shining.
Every town has an Elm Street.
Yeah, dude, The Shining though. That's another one of my favorites. And then Casino, obviously, Scarface, Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp, Blow. That's another one too that just came to my head. That's one definitely in my top.
Got that.
Fucking awesome. And then Inception for a newer movie. That could easily be in my top 5 too. I just love Christopher Nolan. Even like The Dark Knight, all the Batman ones that he made. Memento, he made that. That was a great movie. But yeah, Inception, I fucking love that movie. Another one that just came to my head, Boiler Room with Giovanni Ribisi and Vin Diesel. I fucking love that movie. That's a great movie. And then American Beauty, that easily could have been in my top 5 too. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out with Kevin Spacey and was that, I think Annette Bening is in it. But that's a great fucking movie. Fargo, another Coen Brothers movie. Even Blood Simple too, the first movie the Coen Brothers ever made. If you've never seen that, check that shit out. Because that was in the 80s, and that's a great fucking movie. Simple story about a cheater, a wife cheating on her husband, and that's a great fucking story. And then also one that I had to throw this in there. It just came in my head, and I feel like you're gonna appreciate this, and it's such a hidden gem. Is Airheads.
Ah, Airheads,
dude, it's such a hidden gem.
Dude, I forgot about Brandon Fraser. Dude, The Mummy. I love The Mummies. Encino Man. Come on.
Encino Man.
Shit.
Yeah, but dude, Airheads, man, I could watch that movie fucking 100. Oh, dude, Friday. That's another one, dude.
And then you got to think about Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's why I'm saying, dude, it's so hard. But I mean, we listed our top 5. I could come up with another fucking 50 movies right now easily. That's the crazy thing about it.
Well, audience, take the challenge. Let's see if you can come up with a top 5 and you write them down in the comment section.
Yeah, I would love to know what other people's top 5s are. I'm super interested in that. If you watch this video, don't forget to hit the red bell and subscribe, please. But more importantly, in the comments, what are your top 5? Because I'm always looking for something new to watch that I haven't seen, And I'm like the most indecisive person ever. Like, I'm one of those people that'll sit there looking through Netflix for an hour before I pick something, and then I can't figure out anything to pick. You know what I mean? It's awful. It's awful. But, if people tell me, like, this movie's great, I try to watch them, and
me too. I still got a huge list of movies just from you that I got to watch.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, so that's it. That's it. And dude, hey, that was great, man. Because you pulled some shit out that I didn't think you were gonna pull out.
Yeah, like I said, I just try to switch it up a little bit, But like I said, came from the heart, or made an impact in my life. Those are my movies.
Yeah, and it's same thing for me. Same thing for me. So yeah, please let us know what yours are. Top 5. List them in the comments. Hit the red bell. Subscribe. Like it. Share the video. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm checking out. SplatMan.
I'm checking out.
All right. Peace. Thanks for watching.
Peace, people. AWO show for life.